Hey everyone, how's it going? As crazy as it sounds, Better Call Saul is coming to a conclusion this upcoming Monday night. This whole universe with Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul has been going on for a really long time. Started all the way back in 2008, so here we are 14 years later, and this whole kind of universe is finally going to have like its final chapter. It's wild to see it come to an end, but I am so excited to see what happens. And of course, the biggest kind of overarching question moving into the series finale of Better Call Saul is what is going to happen to Saul Goodman? So today I want to go through a couple of different options on how, like, what Saul Goodman's fate will be in the series finale. Now, of course, this will include spoilers, so if you're not caught up with Better Call Saul yet, please do, refrain from watching this video until you're caught up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and list off some various options for what Saul Goodman's fate could be in the series finale and discuss each. So, option A, Saul Goodman could get away scot-free. He could get away with everything he's done. Option B, Saul could die. Option C, Saul could get caught and arrested and have to deal with the fallout of that. Or option D, something else entirely. Now, looking at these four options here, I immediately am very skeptical about option B. I don't think he'll die. And now, obviously, a lot of people in this universe have died. I mean, Walter died, Gus died, Mike died, all the Salamancas died. A lot of people in this universe die, right? Howard Hamlin died. I mean, so many people, even people like Howard, like at the beginning of the series, you never would have thought would ever be at risk of dying, died, right? So I'm not saying it's impossible, but just based on the fact that I don't know, it just where the story's going, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me. My guts tell me that's not going to happen. I don't know, that wouldn't be. I feel like that would just be really anticlimactic, and it wouldn't be in the nature of, like, I don't know, his character in this whole story. This doesn't feel right to me. So I don't think option B will happen. Option A, I don't see happening either, though, because at the end of the day, I feel like this man, Jimmy McGill, Saul Goodman, Gene, whatever, right? All the same guy. At the end of the day, I think his biggest opponent is honestly himself. And I think at the end of the day, he's going to be his own downfall because at the end of the day, he can't really shake who he is. And at his heart, I think he really is this con man guy, the Saul Goodman, this guy who does all the Saul and stuff, and at the end of the day, he's someone who, despite multiple opportunities to kind of make amends and correct his ways and stray away from his bad tendencies, he's chosen not to. And he's had so many opportunities to make amends and make adjustments in his life, and he hasn't done that. Especially, you notice when he became Gene, right? He used the Hoover Vacuum Service and got this whole new personality as this guy Gene, who's the manager of a Cinnabon. And he, other than like a few little hiccups, was pretty much off scot-free. I mean, he was in a pretty safe position where he had kind of left that other stuff behind, where he could get away with his past crimes. But then, of course, he started doing the same stuff again with pulling off that stealing heist in the mall, and then he's breaking into people's houses and stealing their information and all this stuff. And it's almost like he can't help himself. And I think that's really ingrained in who he is. He's not someone who can just live a normal life and play it safe. That's just not who he is. And I think the problem with that personality is, well, if you can't stop doing that one way or another, one day you're going to get caught. So even if we saw a teaser for the season finale, for the series finale, we saw a teaser at the end of last week's episode that showed a crash car, and we heard Saul calling the Hoover Vacuum Service. So it's very possible maybe he could get away with that. He could start a new life as John Smith in whatever other state or wherever else far away from Nebraska with a whole new identity and life. But at the end of the day, he would probably just start doing the same stuff yet again and eventually get to the point where he would have to use that Hoover service again. And I mean, you can only use it so many times until you're eventually going to get caught. So at the end of the day, I think it's just too ingrained in his nature. He's going to get caught eventually. He's never going to be able to escape himself. So I don't see option A happening either. I think it makes sense for the show to have him get caught now. So what I see most likely is option C. I think Saul's going to get caught. And I think that's somehow going to connect back to what Kim is doing, where Kim went to Cheryl, Howard's wife, and confessed everything that they did to, manipulate and defame Howard and a bunch of other bad things that the two of them did together. And I think that would be actually a really cool way to end the series, with them actually having to come back together under very terrible circumstances, obviously, but I think that's what makes sense. So my prediction is that Saul will get caught, and he will somehow be connected back with Kim, get to see her again, and I don't see it ending well for Saul. I don't know exactly what will happen, but I don't think he'll die, but I certainly don't see him getting away with everything. But of course, I leave option D in here because I do feel that it is possible that something else could happen, some kind of twist or something, or something I'm not thinking about. So Vince Gilligan and Peter Good and all the amazing people involved in the show are insanely clever and great showrunners and writers, and I'm sure they have some amazing storytelling put into this series finale, and I'm sure they're going to surprise us all. There's no way to expect everything, so I'm excited for what's to come. I can't wait for the series finale on Monday night. And yeah, I'm very confident that it's going to be a fantastic conclusion to this entire show, Better Call Saul, but also to this entire world of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, and El Camino. Anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about today. What do y'all think? Do y'all see option A, B, or C happening, or do you see it being more like option D? What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments section below, and thank you all so much for watching.